So you're gonna be waiting for the decider to be started. Let's correct the score for Deities of Death, tying the match at 2-2. And it's gonna be taking the 5th one on random to be deciding who's gonna be going into the finals, who's gonna be playing for a bit more prize money in there, or who's gonna be fighting for the bronze. And still, for a bit more prize money than the 4th one as well. So yeah, the last game is going to be coming. It's going to be random, proper random here on Hybrid, which means it's not gonna be including the special maps like, for example, Painted Desert, Blue Lagoon and such. They are not going to be there. It's only going to be the standard maps from the original, including, for example, Highland. So that would be a fun map if you actually go there. It would be a long one probably. And who's gonna be playing then? We are having so far Shelty, Fox and Brickhead and Joel, and for the opponents Kyudai, HerroOP, Domantas and matreiuss, so they basically need to be figuring out who's gonna be playing. And it's basically funny because at this point both clans have lost all their home maps. So what I would be suggesting for the last round, for the bronze and the finals, well, pay a bit more attention to choosing your home maps. All 4 games, the other team then chose the map, has won. So the home maps were a bit of a curse today. Alright, so they send me all the gods here. I just need to be right now reconciling it. I'm basically trying to play blind. Loki, Thor and Isis. Yeah, it seems to be all fine. Alright, so as we are right now running out of the soundtrack for Age of Empires 2, gonna be exactly starting, it seems like, with the decide last match of today. Last game of today. We are gonna be then left with the other semifinals, which are so far on the scheduling for the weekend. Not entirely set time yet, so you're gonna be seeing if, well, they're gonna be finding a time, hopefully they will, so that you can be moving into the finals and bronze in the next weekend. Yeah, Midgard is certainly a possibility, but that would be the original Midgard. Oh man, that would be really funny. That would be really so funny if actually it was the original Midgard and some really insanely bad spawn. That can definitely happen. That would be really insanely funny. Combined with all the conversations lately in the community. So they could be knowing what they are actually missing. Or maybe not. Okay, so the gods are gonna be exactly as we knew. Shelty with Loki, Fox with Isis, and it's gonna be Brickhead with Thor. And against them, matreiuss with Oranos, HerroOP with Loki, and Kyudai with Zeus. Quite solid lineup, and kinda like versatile all around. And Oranos there can be really played everywhere. The Zeus is also useful everywhere. Isis the same. The Loki against Loki is kinda the same. And Thor is quite a solid vanilla god, so kinda not. Why not? If he's comfortable with it, and he certainly is, as the best Thor around currently. Yeah, apparently having some problem in, guessing, communication on Discord or something. I'll be assuming. That's something they have mentioned a bit before. And that would be definitely unfortunate for them, because in such a high level match and gameplay, they certainly need to be coordinating at the top level as well, and immediately. Okay, so it seems like that everything is going to be right now working as it should. So we are starting with the last game of today's match, the decider between the Uncrappables and Deities of Death, and only one can advance into the grand finals, and that's going to be the winner of this one last game on random, and it's going to be Ghost Lake. I think that everybody's going to be happy with that, as that's quite a fun map and interesting to watch. And you can see it's going to be the double gold variant, so definitely nice for the Isis. And we need to be right now checking who is, or rather where is the Isis going to be positioned. So Fox is gonna be on the flank, definitely a bit unfortunate, but he does have both of the gold mines actually back once and next to the tower, so it's absolutely excellent for him. Couldn't have asked for anything more. As for the opponents, well, they're gonna be having Zeus against that, so Zeus versus Isis has no more iconic matchup in the whole community, in the whole duration of the game, and therefore that's one we're gonna be looking forward to. So Loki in the pocket, a Thor, a Brickhead, that's potentially quite dangerous. You can see already a bit of a micros, saving the damage into all of those dwarfies and the villagers that are here. Yeah, it's a villager to the top side if I see it correctly. Actually, all of them are villagers. To the bottom, that's gonna be Loki against the Oranos here. And Loki against the Oranos, that is a fairly nasty matchup, I have to say. That could be... sorry, destroying my rather table here right about now. But anyway, to finish my thought here, that could be rather nasty, because all the mythical units are gonna be hard to deal with for matreiuss. I mean, like, this is the vanilla, like, AoT Titans, Atlantean, so therefore he was gonna be having all those shockwaves and stuff, so he could be potentially dealing with it, but still, Gonna be a challenging matchup, and we are gonna be probably expecting a bit of a 2v2, the Norse at the bottom and Atlantean with the Norse to the top side, and that is probably what's gonna happen here. So already a few relics have been discovered in the middle. That's gonna be Villager Gold Gatherate, Harmonia's Necklace, quite important in the early stages. As the hero damage versus Myth units, Kopesh of Horus is definitely not bad. Against the Loki, yet again, that might be actually quite something, and against potentially Colossi a bit later in the game as well. As you're gonna be right now watching exactly, the 2 lions will appear at your temple and respond if killed, and that might be really helpful in the early raidings on the right flank potentially. So far, 1 extra gold mine behind the back of the players, another one here as well. That's a lot of gold mines actually for you guys. And basically everybody's having like 2 gold mines. I wouldn't be surprised if there was, yeah, exactly. One more here in the corner, that would be definitely nice if it wasn't there for the opponents, but the opponents are having pretty much the same. You can see just behind Shelty, 1, 2, 3 gold mines for him all the way in here in the corner. And on the left side so far though, we don't see it yet. So maybe right now Fox could be actually happier if he was switching places with the Shelty and having all the gold mines behind himself, because so far it seems like he might not even have anything there with how the original map spawns. So it definitely is not out of the question altogether, as there's a lot of scouting, or the scouting by the goats going on, so that they are gonna be ensuring that they know exactly everything about the back of their bases. Apparently, basically right about now, Brickhead is not gonna be having a front TC. As already the back one is gonna be a bit more forwardish here, or like the opposite way. The forwardish TC is gonna be backish, as both of the TCs for Brickhead are pretty much here. So he doesn't have anything in the front, as opposed to pretty much his opponent, who's having this front TC behind the wood line. That's kinda sucky usually, because that's usually a bit slightly easier to steal from the opponents. So let's see if it's gonna be used or not, as there's another relic. Oh well, we have actually seen that one. So we have seen 2 or 3 of them, so I'm thinking that one is still gonna be somewhere hidden, but it's kinda alright, as there's another gold mine in the corner for Matreiuss, so that's a ton of gold everywhere, but not exactly for the Egyptian. The Egyptian is having front gold, plenty of them, but it's actually, well, that's actually a lot of gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, holy damn, 4 gold mines, and it's actually rather close by to the front TC, so I'm not disliking it too much. He would have liked to be having a gold behind his base, but still, it's not too bad, considering this is vanilla in the late game. What I wanted to say right about now, I just basically looking slightly onto the chat as well, so I got confused in my head, as it's commenting 2 minutes away, as the Hermes is already coming forward, and no, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna be coming back to it, but anyway. Yeah, on the Titans. If you were on the Titans, you would certainly be wanting the back gold because of the second TC fastly heroic that you'll be probably going for. So for that, you kinda need the back gold. But if you don't have that, and he is gonna be coming for like 720 advance for himself, you can see he's having plenty of food all around him. A few berries on the left potentially, apparently some lion or the lion. So 2 polar bears at the back, which is still 400 food for him, which is definitely not too bad either. Still, and Prometheus is already forward at 430, and he is right now moving forward here. But to finish my thought, finally, for the top team and for the top part of the map, since he is gonna be advancing so quickly, he can be dropping a Migdol somewhere here in the middle of the gold mines, somewhere here to basically capture the TC and the gold mine on the left side as well, and he could be quite fine in that regard. So it can be maybe a bit of a blessing, and in the end, would you look at that? He even does have a belt, or the back gold still. So it's gonna be absolutely excellent map right about now. Not only 2 starting gold mines, but also 1 big one behind himself. So really kinda excellent for him. So in the middle, there's gonna be just Matreiuss right now falling back, and he will have to rebuild the army before he goes into a bit of a raiding. He's protecting the gold mine behind his base with counter barracks and military barracks, so 1-on-1 Murmilos and Turmas, and that is exactly the build-up that you want against a Norse, especially a Loki with all the infantry and a few mythical spawns in there as well. So Double Temple is gonna be the build-up for him. For his opponent Loki, for HerroOP, it's gonna be Temple and Longhouse. So basically a few throwing axemen on top of that as well, it seems. Now, as Brickhead is already going to be dropping on the Longhouse, and apparently switching into plenty of horses, and yeah, well, that's gonna be a ton of raiding for him going on all across the map. As Fox is advancing through Bus at 545. So pretty much basically preparing for the fastly heroic as you would be expecting for him. Already dropping the armory, and it seems like quite a solid upgrade. Maybe like 730 definitely seems a reality for him. So far though, it seems like they're gonna be heading exactly into the middle of the enemy territory, into the hunt. So well scouted and well done, as HerroOP is going exactly there. But Brickhead is having plenty of army as he advanced through 4 city yet again as a Thor, as he pretty much has to. Oh, he did not! Okay, scratch that. He actually did not. He advanced only against, or rather through Freya, so he's not afraid of the Loki all that much this time around. And therefore it might be getting slightly challenging, because he's not gonna be getting the better HerroOP. And therefore, there might be some kind of chance for HerroOP to get some kind of advantage. But let's see, still not entirely sure. As on the right flank, Shelty is definitely right now gonna be punishing the Kataskopos. It's gonna be not giving any kind of more information and sending them home. As just a few units are available for matreiuss, so therefore the battle is not exactly all the great for him. It's not only this, but a few more on the left side, but still it doesn't seem to be exactly enough, especially against the combination that Shelty and Brickhead are so far having. So Prosperity is coming forward. This certainly is definitely looking like some kind of Migdol really forward this year, because so far there's absolutely no attacking. Okay, it's gonna be even faster heroic age right about now from Kiludai. As Kiludai is definitely not going for trading himself. He's going for fast heroic, for fast Apollon. Gonna be like half a minute faster even than Nephthys, and it's gonna be allowing him to be having quite a strong and solid economy, as he seems to be quite intent. I'm even looking on the TC on the left side, as he does have a bit of a vision, already heroes there. So he does want the TC, basically trying to make sure that all of those are gonna be his, all of those gold mines and this gold mine and whatever. And he's gonna be having a better chance how to basically withstand what his opponent is going to be sending against him. So in the middle, quite an important battle right about now, a 2v2, right proper as we expected at the very start. So here so far, Shelty with Brickhead are forced into a bit of a defense and retreat from the battlefield, but they also need to be right now getting rid of the towers before they're gonna get researched. Are they gonna get researched? Not yet. Doesn't seem like that, unfortunately. Shelty would be having resources for that. Right now he clicked. So he needs to be definitely hurrying up. We're trying to destroy that. Apparently that's not going to be happening all that much. We're being stabbed from the back by the swords of all the horses, which are already medium. So very well, very nice upgrade for him. But of course against the Murmilos and the Turmas, it's still not going to be exactly all that enough for him. On the left though, the TC is going to be taken. So you can see Migdol as well. So Fox is basically seeing exactly the same. Recognizing that his opponent has advanced so quickly into fast heroic for the economy. He's going to be already blocking the path with triple stables in the front. And he also needs to be taking care of the left side, because that is quite certainly possible for him at the same time. So there we are. We're gonna be right now looking at plenty of gold still available potentially for matreiuss for a bit later, as he does have enough army in the middle and kind of trying to maybe slightly control also the TC on the right flank. Okay, the army is getting inevitably stronger, and this is not gonna be enough for Shelty. Unless he gets some excellent spawns and like basically more of them at once, it's not gonna be all that great. Let's see. I think this is actually a pretty good battle. Yeah, exactly for matreiuss. It was a good battle for him. Until he would be facing way too many mythical units like a few Valkyries, that would be bad. But still, that was solid enough, as he's gonna be apparently a bit of a switch to the left side by Brickhead, as he is pursuing HerroOP, as he's also, yeah, well, unfortunately spied. He doesn't know about that, and it's of course letting the opponents know exactly what's going to happen in there. And they're gonna be at least trying to push forward somewhere and hope to help Kiludai, because Kiludai is already gonna be facing the wrath of his opponent fairly quickly and fairly promptly, as all of those siege towers are getting prepared with the one compulsory elephant at the very start for this build order. And of course following with at least a few chariot archers at the back. The army is already there. It's gonna be of course joined up by Brickhead, so not really that much of a great idea so far for HerroOP. He's definitely not gonna be expecting all that much for help from his teammate. So right now he could be already upgraded into the medium raiders, the medium cavalry, because that could be something that will help in this battle quite a bit. So for a bit of a pause in there, as in the middle, well, the battle is definitely gonna be quite interesting, as matreiuss is still trying to push into Shelty, but Shelty is trying to basically diversify and go a bit more into the left side, basically force some kind of like triple with ancestors into Kiludai, which is interesting idea. And definitely curious if it's gonna be really working for him, as at the bottom there is a, okay. That's a whole lot more than just basic raiding. This is gonna be already built up in the middle of those two TCs. This is extremely important. If he can block those two TCs, that's gonna be really something. You can see right now, Blue is gonna be coming back because he has noticed him there. So he's just basically scouting what's going to happen. So far he hasn't noticed exactly, as the raiders are checking back there as well. And this is gonna be like exactly out of their line of sight. Like exactly out of it. As maybe he's gonna be even taking the TC here. Yeah, He seems to be kind of thinking about it a whole lot more. As in the middle, there was a bit of a battle, and that was the reason why he actually wasn't watching that and wasn't doing anything here, because, or there, because he needed to be looking at the battlefield. As right now, matreiuss has made his way all the way to the top, as yellow is moving for a TC, but it's gonna be right now disrupted, as steel is having tons of army here, and not only army, but also plenty of military buildings. So here we are, basically the heroic age is coming up in quite a number, with Shelty and matreiuss right now still being behind a bit. Well, Shelty not gonna be for long, and matreiuss also kinda not for long, but even though it's gonna be still a bit longer, as the siege towers are already going to be knocking forward and on the enemy army, and it's kinda looking like a time where maybe ceasefire could be one of the ideas that he could be keeping in his mind. But of course, the double flamey weapons from the opponents, that's gonna be real nasty, and needs to be keeping that. Oh yeah! There we are! There we are. So Ancestors and Eclipse, he was waiting for that. He was having that clip exactly as he should be doing it. So here we go. It's going to be this. But I was just going to say this doesn't have to be the best solution to the situation. Right now, what needs to be happening is actually HerroOP getting enough resources for the TC. He's gonna be getting the one at the back. Oh, come on. Alright. Now that's a real threat right about now for Fox at the back. But I was going to say that those double flamey weapons might be potentially a whole lot more dangerous, and I'm slightly questioning right about now the choice here, but HerroOP couldn't have any kind of other choice. Yeah, he unfortunately doesn't have Scuddy, so it's not like he could have actually done anything else. So I'm kind of just basically cannot help if maybe the Ancestors wouldn't be like less of an evil than potentially Ragnarok with flamey weapons, without ceasefire. Kind of thinking something like that might have been also a bit of a line of thinking to go into. But still, nicely done. Nicely done indeed. As there is gonna be quite a strong attack from the back, exactly, with HerroOP already casting the flame weapons. It's gonna be right now. Okay. Flame weapons at all, or rather all of them. So right now, this goes through the window, the thought I had a bit before, Ragnarok with flame weapons. Everybody casting it. So this is gonna be just everybody right now fighting at all costs. And this is seeming to be not going all that well for Shelty, to be honest. Right now, HerroOP is actually doing quite a decent damage at this point. And he does have the military buildings right at the back, and already, of course, rebuilding all of it. Even the market in there, holy damn. And there are gonna be, of course, siege towers on the left side. That was a bit of wasted resources. I really don't understand why he made it there, as Balder is already coming forward, as you can see in this TC. I really don't understand why he didn't take this. Makes no sense to me. But anyway, he did that. Lost a lot of them at that point, or lost a lot of resources there, as there is also a bit of a push inside the base of matreiuss, who is right now trying to get at least the 45 TC, which he does. And those few heroes of Murmilos, or the heroic Murmilos, could be dealing with this, but he needs to be right now getting rid of the Herseers with the TC, and he's doing so far quite a good job at that. But still, kinda tricky all around. Flame weapons are gone for absolutely everybody here. And we are at, no, kinda interesting interim in the game, considering the fact that Fox is finding his army in the way, well, in the middle of the enemy base, with the Ragnarok already cast. That was how strong? I don't think it was too strong. Brickhead, whoa, that's 40 Ragnarok only, really? I mean, like, it's quite early at 1350 or something like that, but still, is it actually worthwhile? I don't think they're having such a significant advantage right about now. He's having only copper weapons and copper shields. I'm just gonna be checking quickly. No, he's not getting anything more. So I'm not all that certain if actually right about now Brickhead didn't jump the trigger a bit. Looking at this, okay. The army from Fox is definitely becoming real. We need to be checking what the Zeus is doing. If maybe Mythical Age, oh yeah. Hera is already coming. It's gonna be still about like 40 seconds away. So they need to be somehow defending that. But of course coming for the Atlantean to punish him. And that's the best idea that they could be potentially having right about now. So there we go. The army are unfortunately not all that upgraded. Is he maybe coming for that already? Or no, he's not gonna be wasting the resources. He's waiting for, not Forge of Olympus, but he's gonna be waiting for all the infantry that he can be getting. As right now plenty of heavy Murmilos are already prepared here, with at least the copper mail, as the enemy heavy chariots, and that's pretty much it. What kind of relic does he have? Ah, cheaper. Okay, so they don't cost as much, which I don't think is really all that much of a difference, but we are gonna be waiting right now for the Lightning Storm, probably to be cast in the HerroOP's base here. As at the backside there is basically final cleanup of HerroOP, as Fox is gonna be at 5 TCs. Well, yeah, he's gonna be at 5 TCs. There is the Pharaoh, and he's gonna be right now destroying all those piggies that are going for quite clever raiding, or the Craven, or the Academy trading, but it's pretty much it. As this is looking like, well, doesn't have to be necessarily right now good enough for Lightning Storm. all things considered, because there are plenty of other units that are dealing with it, but I think he should be. Just to basically make sure that he doesn't lose and basically makes it a bit quicker, dealing with the situation. I think that's a bit more important right about now for him. I really think that it kind of is, but still he's gonna be right now gone with even a bit of a forest fire for Brickhead at the very end to basically prevent the pursuing of all of that. As at the back, this is gonna be the build-up actually disrupted. Plenty of units actually made their way here, as they were probably walling at the middle. I haven't exactly checked and seen that properly at that moment. So they are still gonna be preventing TC and being annoying at the backside with the piggies going around. But Fox at 5 TCs, that would have been a solid problem. Quite a solid problem. As you can see, this is way too close to the Migdol that it cannot even shoot. Yeah, well, tough luck, I guess. Still continue with the economy in there. And it seems that right about now, the Atlantean matreiuss is coming into his strength with the second TC already for him. This Migdol seems to be more or less impossible, and we are still waiting where the lightning storm is still going to be used, because it is still a bit of a wild card, and is quite a solid wild card, to be honest, in this game. Okay, so Kyrirai still the underworld passage is available, as this Migdol is gonna be gone, so basically 400 gold wasted pretty much. Yeah, there we go. Heroes of Ragnarok are already in. That's gonna be killing also plenty of villages right about now. So it was kind of inevitable, since all the army is starting to be trickling in from Fox. So not much of a surprise as the Migdol is gone. Right about now, plenty of everything that Red was having is gonna be completely charred through bone and, well, through coal at this point. As Green, of course, having at least the medium whip space with the copper mail, while the upgrades need to be coming soon, and quite soon indeed. So right now the heavy chariots, they don't have any kind of upgrades yet, but the Migdol yet again is getting closer, and it's gonna be also getting closer to assaulting the 45 TC with a few catapults from like position there. Okay, so a few Ulfsars getting rid of the piggy at the back, as finally HerroOP does have the back TC right about now, and that's gonna be one hell of a problem, because this build-up is gonna be severely dangerous. Unfortunately, the ATs of that kinda underestimated it and didn't clean it up properly. Kinda forgot about it slightly, I'm thinking. As copper mail for him right about now, red or yellow. Especially since he's post-Ragnarok, he's gonna be right now not having all that much of an economy and anything at all that he could be producing, so he's in a horrible situation. And if this TC is gonna be falling, which right about now is the absolute certainty, with even extra piggy coming into fun with the Hell Giant through the bottom, well, Brickhead is gonna be right now knowing what HerroOP was knowing like basically most of the last game, having 0 TCs. So enjoy that, economy gone. Right now cannot even rebuild the economy, so the longer they can keep it this way, Brickhead is gonna be completely useless in the game, and this is the biggest threat to the ATs of that right now gameplay. Unless Joe can, or the Fox can somehow completely storm them, and maybe he can, because he has already taken their front TC, exactly the one at the start, if you remember, that we talked about. It could be easier for the opponents to steal, and it definitely was in the end. So right now the TC in the middle has been kind of raided by the piggies, you can see, and the mythical units, as matreiuss should be able to replace it in no time. But this build up in the middle by Fox is certainly dangerous, but it should also result into missing upgrades. It certainly is. Absolutely nothing there, and therefore giving a bit of a chance to kill you die, maybe to outmaneuver the opponent with already heavy infantry. Was trying to hide inside the Helipolis in there. Yeah, apparently succeeded in the end, but I need some kind of unit because I want to be looking at upgrades. So far, double copper, well, still better than the opponent that is having absolutely nothing. As right about now, Teal is right now gonna be fighting and binding most of the army from Shelty, which is of course gonna be resulted not only in this pitched battle between those two Norse, as Shelty is having what kind of upgrades? He's having absolutely nothing, so against the Teal who's having the mail, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be definitely not such a huge battle for him, as yellow is having still the copper mails and... what was it? Copper mail and copper weapons. Green is right now gonna be joining in with plenty of heavy infantry with the upgrades as we have seen it just a bit before, and getting into the enemy economy, and of course trying to disrupt right now to gold gathering. But there are so many gold mines for it still. I mean, like, he can just choose which one he's gonna be gathering from. He's having like 6 gold mines for himself. It's absolutely not funny for him. But in the middle right now, all the siege towers from Fox and all the population limit is certainly working wonders. And this with the villages, you are not in Titans. You don't have the bonus against the siege. Be careful with this. It's not gonna be working that well. So this is gonna be basically a battle between Fox and pretty much everything else. As right now, HerroOP is doing what he can, but he's gonna be losing the TC inside his base. It seems kind of inevitable at this point, even though he's having Masons on there. As in the middle, he's gonna be right now Shelty, probably facing a situation of only 2 TCs. The question is, well, the piggy needs to be sent in there. The send there, yeah, it seems to be exactly the case. It's gonna be only 2 of them, as a few of those hersters are apparently really not going to be working the fields today. They really are not. Okay, in the middle, there's gonna be some kind of stray army for matreiuss, who is already at 3 TCs with plenty of army also in the middle of a Blue's base, who is right now gonna be joined by still already champion Hippaspist. So Shelty is definitely getting manhandled right about now with bronze and double copper, but who is still extremely dangerous as Shelty has lost the TC on the left side is definitely the ISIS. But yeah, well, it seems to be taking him a long time as matreiuss is also switching the army to the top with medium archive and copper mail on them, whereas well, red is still not getting anything as he is really at too many TCs and he's maybe gonna be getting even at the 6th one at this point, at least for a few mercenaries, but I think that even mercenaries might be a bit more expensive for him. Yeah, well, gonna be getting at least the 500 gold through that. Quite interesting Migdol is going to be certainly helping him. As on the left side, there is finally some kind of push forward by Kirudai to try and disrupt that. With of course the heavy hip, the champion hoplite with already double copper, oh god damn it, copper and double bronze, and that is certainly something that Fox won't be able to handle even with the mercenaries. As he's trying to switch the trade, but that is not going to be safe for him anymore. As right about now, HerroOP with matreiuss on the bottom side are controlling not only Brickhead, who finally does have a TC and can be starting to rebuild the economy yet again, but Shelty is down to only 2 TCs, of which one is gonna be right now destroyed, and they are gonna be already resigning as Fox is not gonna be unfortunately having enough time to right now push through the opponents, and therefore the Unclappables are gonna be advancing into the grand finals, and deities of death are gonna be playing for the bronze. Yet again, quite an excellent match indeed, and this one was decided yet again by the back build by HerroOP, that they did not clean it up properly. And that completely screwed them over and basically slowed Brickhead down so much, well, completely stopped him. He just couldn't rebuild the economy at all. And therefore, yeah, well, yet again, for about like nth time, don't underestimate back builds. Pay attention to them every single time. They can do exactly this, and they did. Even though HerroOP was basically pushed and switched bases pretty much, allowed him to do that. What he gained through this was complete and utter disruption of Brickhead's and Shelty's game, and then with matreiuss joining and Kirudai as well, it was just a bit too much for them to handle, and they couldn't do that at all, even though Fox was doing what he could in the middle and pushing rather quickly, but unfortunately it just wasn't going to be quick enough. Alright, this was well played, and I was kinda like questioning right now the speed of the Ragnarok in there. I think he could have waited a bit, but still, that battle inside his base that basically lured all those flamey weapons. That was also a game-defining moment. Because if you imagine the flamey weapons, being there for a bit later, and for the Ragnarok, it would have been a whole lot different game. So they kind of like jumped the gun a bit in there. And, well, jumped the gun. They kind of had to do it. Maybe only one had to do it in there, because Fox helped us well in the end. But yeah, well, the game developed as it did, and it is going to be the Unclappables in the end. Kind of making a bit of a comeback, but it was all across the place, the game. They were losing after the first game, deities of death were winning there, then it was tied, deities of death were losing then, 1-2. They came back in the 4th game into 2-2, and therefore we are at the last decider here. That was in the end taken by UCAS. Well played. Well played and fun games all across. Absolutely certainly. Absolutely certainly here. And it's going to be right now. Look into the post game where Fox, of course, is going to be having the highest score with all those town centers that he was having, and therefore also the economy and just basically number of units that's allowing him to be having such a huge military score. Similar to matreiuss though, as he was killing plenty. He certainly was killing plenty in there. Kirudai also good economy and good strategy with a very fast heroic in there at about like 730. That was something that I expected from Fox, to be honest, advancing as fast and basically doing something along those lines with the extra TCs and whatever. But yeah, well, the Zeus did it better. He just did. And HerroOP, he was able to actually gather some resources at the end, and he didn't really mind that he wasn't having all that much of a base. He got the TC behind the enemy, and that was enough for him. So we have seen quite different games in all 5 of them. And that's exactly what you expect from top level clan wars and team games. And we have gotten more than we could have hoped for even. And on hybrid, quite a bit different than the Titans. As yeah, the missing TC in the classical age really makes for a whole lot different setup and a whole lot different gameplay. Well, 78, that's gonna be probably even with the Ragnarok. Well, that's not too much then. Well, he was really hurrying for the Ragnarok, so it's not like that much of a surprise, to be honest, especially since he then lost the TC way too quickly, so that he couldn't rebuild at all. But Fox, definitely strong player on there. But HerroOP, yeah, that build-up at the back was certainly the main reason for the victory. But the support by his teammates in there at correct timing, that was what switched the game into the full result of 3-2. 723 for Kiludai, 752 for Fox. Faster advances for pretty much everybody but matreiuss. He definitely took his time in there as he was pumping out the army as fast as possible, so that he could be controlling the opponents there. As in the end, Kiludai with, well, by some margin the upgrades, but that was exactly what he commented on with Fox. That since he was getting so many TCs so early in the game, it was really inevitable that he's not gonna be having enough resources stockpiling for upgrades, and therefore Kiludai is gonna be getting slowly the advantage in there. And that's exactly pretty much what happened. Even though it wasn't exactly all that sure, Fox still could have won there, for example, in like the fight against Kiludai and HerroOP. If it came a few minutes, or rather for a few minutes longer. But yeah, well, that was already a bit too late. Fox was having excellent maps, so many gold mines for him, like about 6 gold mines, 2 starting gold mines behind the base on Ghost Lake. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the opponents chose a bit better strategy, especially with the Norse behind the enemy base. It was really well hidden, and the Teeth of Death weren't paying enough attention into the darkness in there. Yeah, the civilian, that was the Ragnarok with about like 45 or something. And he was basically kept at 20 when he lost the TC to HerroOP. Now, HerroOP losing quite plenty of economy, obviously, as well, through attack from Fox. Fortunately, came just a bit too late. Those two huge economies from Fox and Kiludai. Yeah, well, that was the matchup to top of the battle. Yeah, unfortunately, the Ragnarok had to be cast in a pretty inopportune moment, as he had to cast it right after he basically lost all the army. And therefore, it just didn't have all that much of an impact. Because imagine if he cast it at the time when he was having the army here. Then he would be just shooting uppers and completely and utterly destroying everybody else. And would have been a whole different impact of that. But the opponents, they forced them into a situation that they were kind of forced into doing it. And it resulted into this in the end. Yeah, huge army for Fox. With all of those town centers. And definitely being quite dangerous right next to Kiludai and HerroOP. Okay then. So GG, yet again congratulations to the Uncrappables after quite a solid matchup and match overall, all 5 games advancing into grand finals, and the teeth of that, definitely nothing to be like, don't even want to say the word ashamed. There's absolutely no reason for that at all. It was great matchup all around, all the games were quite tight, besides probably the first one that was kind of backfiring a bit on the Uncrappables. That was real good ownage by the teeth of that, but after that Ukas kinda learned how to play and did not let that happen anymore. So you're gonna be seeing them in the fight for the bronze, and the second semifinals we are still gonna be waiting for them to be scheduled, but they should be played this weekend. So GG. Alright, so let's go out. Let's put in the overlay and the room, as I'm gonna be right now alone in here. And it's gonna be already GG from all the players. So nice. And of course, you guys are gonna be a bit more happy, but we are already having plenty of chat also in the chat here in the stream. So I hope that everybody enjoyed, and if you did, and of course, if you are gonna be following, then you're gonna be notified when we're gonna be live with more matches, as you also need to be correct in the score, exactly, to give Uncrappables the number 3 there, so that everybody knows how it actually ended. And if you are interested, for example, in the recorded games from this tournament, then they are uploaded at RTS Sanctuary, rts-sanctuary.com. You can find everything there. And also, like, it's the home of the community since 2003 already. So anything Age of Mythology, that's the place to be, rts-sanctuary.com, including the recorded games from this tournament. Then, for example, there is Age of Mythology events for scenarios and mods, and also Reddit/Age of Mythology, of course, as usually you know. And if you are basically wanting to help us host more events like these for the community, then you'll be welcoming any kind of support, and it can be either like some kind of donations or Patreon or whatever, like subscription on the stream here. You can be also netting a few emote icons that are tied to Age of Mythology and Age of Empires as well. So if you're interested in those, you might check them out. But otherwise, you can find all the information below the stream, and you'll be putting it to good use. Like, for example, tournament here that has been sponsored by AOL Destroyer and another community benefactor that is lately a good angel for all the tournaments that are being hosted. Otherwise, if you are also having some other ways how you could be assisting us, like, for example, a webmastering, coding a web, or somebody skilled with graphics, or something like that, basically anything that you can think of, give us a holler, contact us, and maybe we can be figuring something else for the community good. So I think that's gonna be about it for today. Of course, as you can see, all those games have been played on Woobly using AoMT hybrid created by ChronoJJ, which basically simulates vanilla in Titans, with certain mods. You can be having problems launching vanilla, so therefore this is gonna be like making it a bit easier for you, even though they are the Atlanteans and Otoku and such. Otherwise, the rules are pretty much vanilla, and you can see it's quite plenty of fun all around, and definitely recommended to play. It's available on Woobly, so if you want to jump on that, you'll be definitely welcoming you as well. Otherwise, most of the games are played with Woobly Balance Patch 3.0, which you can see, for example, in the community games, and will be seen in the standard clan league that's gonna be hosted after this tournament's gonna be done. So in about a month, standard AOT clan league is gonna be up as well. So if you have a clan, definitely do put in the effort of somehow like mobilizing it and then signing up. So pay attention to our community channels, like you can see on the stream, Facebook and Twitter /RTS League. Everything is fairly simple with YouTube as well, where we are putting the past streams of the season. So it's basically already years and hundreds of videos there of not only Age of Mythology, but also Age of Empires. And well, otherwise, if you don't want to be playing any mods, that's also a possibility. On Woobly, you can be playing whatever you want. Also, basically the original 103, no problem with that at all. Nothing is compulsory, so you can be just playing however you like the game. Even some CS games are played, of course. Like, for example, Zelda. I think even Settlers are played here and there. And Tiny is definitely played. So you can be finding games to your liking. Alright, so that's gonna be it. I've been Blackadder at RTS League channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm probably gonna be trying to see if you could be getting some interview going after the finals and the bronze match. I think we haven't had that for a long time. We have done it a few years before in some past seasons of RTS League and some other tournaments, so I'm thinking I will be trying to figure it out. If you can be getting it going today, it's probably a bit too late for everybody already. After the finals and the bronze match, maybe both of them, I'm gonna be trying to see if maybe we could be getting it going. So hopefully that will be a reality, and you could be hearing the players and their thoughts after games like this. So yet again, thank you for watching. I've been Blackadder at the RTS League channel. If you're interested in some streams of mine, then you maybe know and can be getting some information by typing the command into chat !caster. It's /Blackadder space my stream, and that's every Wednesday. Some community games and otherwise maybe some tournaments here and there, but mainly the Wednesday. And then of course here it is always going to be RTS League streams as well. Not necessarily by me, as we are certainly also open and regularly engaging other community streamers so that you can hear somebody else than only me. But it also depends on the availability. So for the 100th time, I hope that you enjoyed today's match. It was definitely quite something. And I'm gonna be right now letting you see some more Age of Mythology, as we're gonna be hosting somebody else still on. Maybe even Kilyuda if he's gonna be continuing with some games. Nice one to end with. See you then.